Yeah,
this guy's a DJ.
Come on,
Gotta
man.
be a DJ.
You see it. You see it.
And look who's in the waiting room. Hold on.
Who we got? Who we got? Who we got? Who will be calling us at this time?
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh, hold
hold on.
up. Oh, let me turn that down. Sheesh.
Let me see the start video.
Hey, there it is. There it is. There it is. Oh, man.
My man.
It's only right.
He dripping.
Can you hear us?
Lazyboy's gonna make it, but A-Track's here. A-Train.
A-Track's here for you?
We got the 8-track
I said,
exclusive
Lazyboy's
interview.
gonna make it, but A-Train's here.
You ain't got you ain't got a Monster energy drink to promote or a Puma shoe to promote?
Yeah, we have that pyrite party going on right now.
Oh, man.
You got the crystals that keep the luck.
No what?
I say you got the crystals to make sure you know the winning crystals.
No, actually, I can't see later. Actually, I did. My girl got me this crystal that helps with creativity.
Yeah.
And I'll believe that shit, but I'll put it in my pocket anyway, so I can use all the luck I can get.
Oh, man. Come on, man.
Look, man,
That shit is loud.
first off,
Is it really loud over there?
Oh, my bad. Look, let's introduce this episode first. We were just kicking off, right? It was perfect timing. Episode 81, MikiDZ show. I almost said radio. Episode 81, MikiDZ radio. We have none
Still
other.
say MikiDZ radio.
MikiDZ show. We have none other than DJ Lazyboy. The champ is here. What's good with you, man? I'm sorry, we have another champ. A-Track is in the building.
DJ A-Track in the building. That's who we have.
Yo, what up? How y'all?
Man, we good, man. How about yourself? How you been feeling since the W?
Oh man, it's a mixture of feelings actually. I'm actually pretty irritated.
Why is that?
Yeah. Thank you for asking.
Oh, the setup.
Yeah, it sure was. So apparently they don't give out a trophy.
Yeah, it's funny because our boy Sean just asked us, like, "Yo, what does he win since he won the he won the contest? Like, what did he get?" And I was like, "That's a good question. I have no idea."
Basically, you get bragging rights. That's it.
That's
it.
Perfect.
It would have been perfect right behind you, like right over your left shoulder.
Like not even an NFT or something, a digital trophy maybe?
Honestly, man, hey, it's heartbreaking because us battle DJs, I got DJs in the other room. Us battle champ, anyone who puts in these battles, we put in so much work.
Right.
And we put in our soul, we put in our time. Everything else is on hold. And all we ask is is for something that we can hang up on our wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when it comes to these high caliber competitions. I mean, I did not want to do it. The moment I saw the lineup, I was like, man, I'm trying to back out of this immediately.
Wow.
Like, I don't want to go against Precision. I don't want to go against Dynamics. I don't want to go against any of the names on the list.
Well,
I didn't want to, but go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that's one of our questions. Was there anything about any of these competitors that concerned you?
Of course, they all are amazing, and none of us like losing. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys are DJs, but DJing is an egotistical activity.
Yeah, for real.
We all have our ego in it one way or another.
Yeah.
So when we get our ego chopped up, when we all put our dicks on the table and we find out it's a lot smaller than we thought it was, it ain't feeling good.
Right.
No, you guys don't understand.
No, I know. We feel you on that.
Yeah.
Was that the wrong analogy?
Nah, man, we get it. We're all DJs. Our egos keep money in our pocket.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's why we record a podcast, and we're not really getting paid for it. So.
True. Yeah, so like, honestly, I have a decent amount of trophies. I have just an equal amount of losses, but I'll never give you facts for that shit. And I'm at the point where after winning this, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use that Goldie trophy. I'm gonna put it next to my 3-star trophy, and now I'm gonna go after a DMC trophy, and then I'm gonna throw all the other ones away because all I care about is my trifecta.
Yeah.
And as a DJ who competes, that's really the only 3 that really mean anything.
Right.
Yeah.
To us. And so when I got the email today, oh my God, forgive me a moment. I'm going to look up the email and read it to you. And hopefully I'll have this thing situated by the time this airs. So maybe I'll actually get a trophy instead of them getting the certification.
Yeah, because this is going to air in 5 days.
Reaction to this.
Right.
All right, so I have 5. You tell me I have 5 days.
You got 5 days to get a trophy.
But
bear with me here. It says, check this out. In the spirit of our online event, we will not be sending out trophies, but we'll have all the other prizes shipped out soon. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
In the spirit of this event, they won't be sending out trophies, but what?
They'll
be sending out the wrestlers' prizes.
Prizes.
Oh,
Other
okay.
prizes.
What are the other prizes, if you don't mind us
Got a
asking?
case of Monster Energy drink coming?
And so, all right.
It's a pair of Pumas.
No, and you know what? Hey, honestly, the best prize out of this, 1 is your bragging rights. 2 is the Pumas.
All right, cool. So, we'll have them hear some of the back and forth, and of course, live from the A-Track's point of view. But let's get back, circle back a little bit here on what we were trying to talk about, which was discovering there's no trophy.
And you're disappointed in that.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we do this stuff.
Yeah.
For the hardware.
Not for real. Like, it doesn't mean anything unless you have a trophy.
Yeah, I mean, it's facts.
It really means that. Like, I don't know how to stress it anymore. People don't do DMC to not get a jacket.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't do freestyle and not have that accolade in physical form on your wall for you to show your kids and show every DJ that comes into your house,
Yeah, we keep all of our podcast awards on the wall here too.
Yeah, they're on a different wall. You can't, not on this wall. They're on a different wall.
I was gonna say.
But you're right. It's like attending a 4-year college, busting your ass, and then not getting your degree. You know what I mean? Like your physical degree.
Yeah.
So
it's like going out and buying some nice kicks and not actually getting the kicks. All you have is maybe the idea that I have these at my house. I don't know.
Right. No, that makes sense. And I think one of the other things that takes into place too is like, this wasn't a singular person effort on your end, right? You give a lot of credit to the team and even people that you've called going into something like this. Can you speak a little on that?
Yeah, man. I've been doing team effort stuff for a long time. I think Freestyle was when I really... Freestyle, I started a group on Facebook of people that wanted to help. And I thought anybody with a creative mind added to that group. And we just brainstorm ideas. I put up a routine. I'm like, hey, what do you guys think of this? Does this work? I trust myself, but I also want someone else's opinion.
Right.
And not only am I asking them, hey, does this work? I'm asking them, how can this be better?
Yeah.
Right.
I only have one mind. I can only think however I think. I hit you guys up and ask you guys for opinions.
Yeah.
and ideas, you know.
Well, I think all the greats tap into help. Like they may not get the credit at the end. Like it may not be typed out with them getting the credit, but it's a collective effort. Even Jordan reached out to a trainer and said, "How can you make me better than the Pistons and the Celtics and all that?" So even the greats, you know, there's a team behind every situation. I think we don't want people thinking that we needed help, like our egos get in the way, right? Because that's going to be a mark on us when in reality, everybody gets help.
One way or another, we do. We all get help, whether it's reading a book and finding it on our own, like we're not giving credit to the author of the book, or we directly ask someone who we feel that has a good mindset on it. And for the record, I want to state that I actually do list all my help. If you go back to my Instagram and look at my posts after winning freestyle, I wrote down probably like around 20 people that gave me, offered their help. I'm not sure if I said you guys' names, but
yeah.
But these are people whose actual work I used.
Right.
In one way or another, whether it was an idea or perspective, or Ease is on there because he told me when I did I'm so excited that I needed to use that scene from Saved by the Bell, where Kelly's like high on weed and she's like, "I'm so excited," you know, and she flips out.
Right.
And you know what? It's crazy because all those little tiny pieces that people argue, "Oh, you need to dumb it down." All those little pieces, they catch traction here and they catch traction there. That maybe not everyone gets it. Maybe not everyone gets it the third time around. At some point, whether it's someone explaining it to them or they figure it out on their own, they may or may not understand that. And that's not up to me to really gauge how smart or how stupid or how aware or how unaware someone is.
Yeah.
But it's my job to create an amazing piece of art. And you go through a spin bag mix, you're not going to catch every single thing you were thinking in his head.
Right.
Yeah.
You go look at a painting, you're not going to understand why that guy used this color here, this paintbrush stroke there. You know, you're not going to understand that.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're going to appreciate it.
Right.
Yeah. So I want to ask, what were the actual rules, if there were any, of this battle? Because we weren't aware if there were any rules, because we see that your set particular there was so much production put into it outside of all the other contestants. So we want to know if there were any rules, what were they?
You know, it's interesting because the first thing I did enter a competition, as I asked just that, what are the rules? So if I look back on my email, let me bring this stuff up.
I love that you reference the actual documents just to make sure.
It's super important, man. It's super important. Oh yeah, my questions were verbatim questions.
Receipts.
What is the judging criteria? What are the prizes? What are the rules? Any pointers? And who is competing besides Dynamics? LOL.
Important.
And they said, "What's up, Lazyboy? Really glad you're down to participate in the online rolling search. Some of the info. We're breaking up in a few days. Blah 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 blah." All right, here we go. Hi, Gregory. Sorry for the delay on your questions. We should have more info on judging criteria, pricing, and other contestants shortly. As for rules, as Elaine, how do you say his name? How do you say A-Track's real government name?
A-Track's real government name?
How do you say it?
That's actually a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No clue.
He wasn't born A-Track?
Right. So, I had this idea that you guys would have no idea either, so I just wanted to put you on the spot. so I was less stupid, but here we go. As for rules, as Elaine mentioned, sorry if I'm getting that wrong, we will need your first set to be 5 minutes, and then for the finals, we will need 2 2-minute videos as well, if necessary. No real parameters beyond that. Feel free to make it your own. And then do you mind sending me your mailing address?
Easy. So no rules.
So no rules, pretty much. So did you have to have those when you advanced from the semifinals to the finals? Did you have to have those 2 videos ready to go before you submitted your video for the semifinals, or you were able to make them after you knew you was going to advance?
You can do them afterwards. I mean, they didn't really specify that. They although if you're really smart and really thought ahead and really, really wanted to win this, you would have prepared a number of routines that were 2 minutes. And then choosing from them and made the best choice to go against whatever competitor, which if you know my DJ name, you probably understand that I did none of that.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's the point. My thing is, after seeing what you brought to the table in the semifinals, my thought or our thought would be like, okay, if I see what Lazyboy just did, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to, bring a little bit more, at least production-wise, to the table. If I already know my hands and the skills and the technique is there, production-wise, I'm going to bring that. And we didn't see any of that in the final round, which is funny.
At least an outfit change, Fumi.
Yeah. I gave, we said that last week. I gave Fumi shit for not changing his t-shirt at least.
Which is wrong. Because he did change his t-shirt.
Did he change his t-shirt?
Yeah, I don't remember the Rocky team in the first round.
3 different?
Yep, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He had 3 different shirts, but yes, you're right. They were both Rocky. The first one was some sushi something. This is how I roll, is what it said.
Okay. But, so my apologies for me. You did change your t-shirt.
I'm happy you got his name right, all of you guys.
DJ Yummy.
You said Zoomy?
I said Yummy.
I said Zoomy.
This is what happens when we record when we're hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and then the last one I get, you're right, he had to the same theme, but if you notice, they're the opposite, which was, I thought it was kind of clever. I mean, it had no relation to a set that I can pick up.
Right.
But it didn't matter. Like he is a very talented DJ performer. I will say that I hope I don't get any shit for this, but I will say that Craze and A-Track were very accurate when they said he did the same stuff, pretty much, as far as patterns and someone else I was talking to this week said that even his earlier stuff is the same kind of pattern. So I got excited because I'm really good at picking up patterns and learning what other DJs do. So I'm actually really excited to learn his style so that if I ever run into the situation again, it might be less of an issue for me. I can just do it the same. But and you had an actual question that I'm not answering right now.
Well, actually, I'm curious to know. So the biggest dilemma, the biggest part of the conversation was when you did your, I guess it's a 2x4x2 when you went back to back with yourself and you created the beat.
The mirror image.
The mirror image, yeah. So
I know it sounds like in and out order.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense because there's not. Yeah, I think you got the numbers wrong.
Break that down.
2 people, 3 turntables.
So 2x3.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you did the 2x3, clearly in your head you thought,
which is my in and out order.
In your head you thought that was everything about that was good enough and worked to where you can submit it. But then A-Track, Craze, and even us felt that the bass and kick part of it wasn't in line with what the other thing you were doing, and they felt that was off. So I'm curious to know, going into submitting, did you think you were on point with that and everything about that was accurate?
Hell no. Hell to no.
You just said, fuck
That shit
it.
was off as fuck. No, that shit was off. Dude, that shit was so off.
You didn't think that was
Man.
running a risk? Submitting it being off?
Yeah, yes, I did.
Okay.
It was even worse when about half an hour before we hit send on the WeTransfer. So here's the deal, man. Like I work really good under pressure. Sometimes I take it a little bit too far, and that is a simple explanation of what happened this time around as well. I have no new material. I've wanted to stop DJing for a long time now. Ever since freestyle, I've been done.
Wow.
I don't want to DJ no more. I'm not. My passion is not in DJing at all. I'm burned out. The moment I got the email or the Instagram message, I'm like, well, I gotta say yeah, but I don't want to do this. I don't even want to do. If Red Bull Freestyle World can come around, I don't want to do that. Am I gonna do it? Yeah, but that's just because life's short, and how many opportunities you're gonna have like that? You know, you gotta do it.
Right.
Do I want to do it? Do I think I'm gonna win? Hell no. And so what happened here was I faced the music, and I looked at all my library, and I tried, and I did my best to create something new, and I could not. I knew if you know my worth, which I don't expect you guys to know, those are all old routines.
Wow.
You know, those are all old stuff, and the stuff that I haven't really put on the table. You can't find it on my Instagram. And I've done it in battles. Sorry, I have had surgery. And missing my tongue. But, and I'm really dry, so hold on.
Perfect.
That always helps. Hit us.
I'm really just burnt out, man. Ever since freestyle, I have no drive. I feel like I did freestyle to really prove to the DJ community and to the promoter community more so that, yo, I'm fucking worthy of this shit. Like, you didn't book me for whatever reason, but like, dude, I'm the best in the country. Like, book me.
Yep.
You know? And I don't really feel that way. I just can say that because I won a title. You know, I don't feel like I'm the best DJ in the United States. Obviously, I'm not. But out of those 6 people that we picked, and they love all these other DJs, yo, book me, you know? And I just wanted to prove to the people that weren't booking me that they should book me. And after that, I was just like burnt out. Like, I don't have anything to prove. I went into Goldie's with that mentality. I have nothing to prove. I'm not here to prove anything. I don't want to back out. I don't even care about this. The only thing that really means something to me is that A-Track asked me personally to join his pyrite party. You know, and that's an honor. I mean, DJs work their whole career just to get to this point, and it's almost disrespectful to not take him up on that.
Do you think,
yeah,
on that kind of note and how you were feeling, because, you know, I think in some levels we've all kind of been there, you know, as DJs, and maybe I won't say it's for you because it seems like you have a level of, you know, what you want out of this, right? Or like what you don't want for the most part, maybe. But do you think sometimes as DJs, taking it back a step, and this goes for us as well, like, do you think we put too much fucking credit into the validation of people who book you? Like, versus like how we, like, you know, going back to like, you know, to the simple thoughts of even just like, you got to love yourself before you can allow others to love you kind of thing. I know it's a little sappy, but, you know, do we give too much credit to the people who could book you?
I don't know if we give too much credit to them. I think what, for me at least, what I can say for myself is that it hurts. When people don't recognize you, they don't see you for what you know you're good at, it hurts. And I love DJing as much as you guys love DJing. We wouldn't be doing this if we didn't love it.
Yeah.
I'm over here getting emotional and shit. I got goosebumps. I feel like I'm gonna cry. Like, I love this shit, man. I've been doing this shit for 21 years, dude. This is the only thing that's loved me back enough to put a roof over my head.
Right.
I worked at the mall. I went to college as long as I could handle that. You know, I made an effort. But the only thing that ever loved me back was DJing. And the people that love it and the people that come out to hear the music.
Right.
And so when someone doesn't book me, or they have their stupid petty reason why they don't, in their mind, and they don't even come and talk to me and say, hey, I'm concerned that you're going to do too much scratching. Can you not do so much scratching if I book you? Mm-hmm. Well, obviously, yeah, of course. I'm not going to. I care about your crowd. I'm here to help you make money so that I can make money.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if I necessarily agree with the exact perspective that you were giving, but that's my angle on it, you know?
I think you might, now that you're a multi-champ, I think you'll be in a place to where you can, like, you don't have to compete, but you'll be paid to just do some pop-up routines and do stuff for certain situations. You know what I mean? Like the evolution of it all, like A-Track and Craze used to compete, then they used to get paid to just do routines without competing. Just whenever you're ready, you showcase and the bag will be there. And then now you have time to create a fun routine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're just over the whole competition aspect, but clearly you still want to be creative.
I'm not quite over the whole competition aspect of it, but I am. My roommate just walked in. You know that meme when the baby walks in and the baby turns around and walks in? No,
that's what just happened.
That's what just happened. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked.
Well, I was saying that now because you won 3-style and you won the Goldies, now you have an opportunity to not compete. You can just showcase.
Right. So yeah, actually, ever since winning 3-style, a few companies came up and wanted me to do a routine. One of them, which you probably saw, was the Virtual DJ. Shout out to Virtual DJ. Thank you for the money and the opportunity. And they've been doing, actually, Virtual DJ has been ahead of the game for a long time. They're just really like the PC versus Serato, which is the Mac, right?
Right.
And let's be honest, like, nobody wants to learn a new software in order to be right. I don't know. I don't want to learn a new software
until they cut a check.
Even then, it's not easy. Would you guys like to switch whatever brand you're using for your DJ setup?
If they're cutting a check, maybe.
But you know what though? Generally, right, like if you told me I had to stop using Ableton and had to use something else, a different DAW, for the most part, they're the same. And anything else that needs to be figured out, like it won't take long to figure out what the shortcuts are and et cetera. I guess you just got to have a desire to want to do it.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's the desire and the patience, and I don't have a lot of either.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm
Lazyboy,
I'm not trying to learn other shit either.
Not ambitious, boy.
And it's not even that I'm lazy. I'm super ambitious. It's just, it's frustrating, man. Like, it's frustrating. We put so many years learning one program,
yeah,
and now we're gonna learn this other program. Like, I'm not gonna switch to Final Cut. I'm using Premiere.
Right.
You know, you're not going to catch me doing that. I use Ableton. You're not going to catch me switching up and use Audacity.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I don't even know if they're really the same. But there's other companies that came out, reached out, and wanted me to do routines and offered to pay me money. There's other companies that offer me a nice check for using their equipment during the World Finals, which I was definitely going to do, but then, you know, COVID. But also, you asked a question right before this about my set, and I really wanted to go back to that and talk about that. You can edit this if you need to. But I was really running out of time, and we took as many shots as it took to get the right sounding clone 1 and the right sounding clone 2. And the metronome was in my head.
Right.
So that's where the shit hit the fan. So I get done recording that at 10:30, 11 o'clock, the day after, the day our project was already due. So 13 days late.
Yeah.
And my boy was like, all right, I need to edit this. I was already up for probably 48 hours. So I'm over here sitting right here on this very spot right here, falling asleep, like just sitting there, falling asleep. Right? I'm like, bro, I'm gonna go take a shower until I wake up. I fell asleep standing up in the shower. So I'm like, bro, fuck this. I'm gonna go out on the couch where my bed is right now. I'm not at home, and I'm gonna just catch some Z's. He woke me up at 4:30 a.m. and said, hey, we got a problem. This isn't lining up. Damn. He showed me the edit, and there was a bunch of jump cuts. And jump cuts are just where you chop it, and all of a sudden I'm over here, and I'm taking a different line. And I'm like, dude, bro, I shot that in one take. Sure, it took me X amount of takes, but I shot it in one take. Let's show them I shot it in one take. There's no way we can do that. And we messed with it. We even tried to cheat a little bit by speeding up and slowing it down, but it wasn't going to happen. The only way to make it happen was to re-record it. And I had gotten probably 12 to 15 hours before an email saying, I think it's not going to be quite verbatim, but we're about to reach the drop dead zone. I don't know what that means. But it sounds like we're going to cut you.
Right.
Yeah.
And knowing that, not to be arrogant, but knowing that I was the favorite, let's not get it twisted. Everyone said, oh my God, Lazyboy this, Lazyboy that. I was the favorite. There's no way, I should have thought about this. It probably wouldn't have mattered how long it would have taken. I probably could have redone the take and re-edited it. They weren't trying to do the show without me at that point. They really weren't. Maybe they were. I don't know. Maybe it would have been a precision situation. Like, me and a bunch of other people were really disappointed that Precision didn't do his sets in the DMC head-to-head battle like he should have. I guess he had some family emergency or something like that and he couldn't do it. So I guess to be realistic, that could have happened this way too. They could have said, hey, for reasons beyond our control, Lazyboy couldn't submit in time and whatever. But honestly, for the show aspect of it, they didn't want to put me out. And I guess I didn't think about it like that. And I just knew, hey, you know, this is the best we can do right now. And I'm not asking you to put in another 5 hours of editing, 4 hours of editing.
Yeah.
He had been up almost as long. So shout out to Color TV. That's really what happened. So I'm not mad, and I agreed with them that, yeah, it was sloppy. It got sloppy in it. And had I actually had a moment to watch the whole entire thing and say, hey, you know what? Not only is it sloppy, but there needs to be a bass synth in there. There needs to be another higher synth. There needs to be more music coming in. There needs to be more of a build. I understand, as you can tell from my first set, that you build all the way to the end. All the way.
Right.
You don't build, and then have a flat moment.
Right.
And expect to win.
Right.
Yeah.
On my IG story, I was talking about, hey, I'm not going to say this in the chat, but I'm really shout to Fumi. He's got this. I really dropped the ball. It was in my hand, and I dropped the ball, and I've been really bummed out the entire day, which I was super bummed out. I was hella sad because I knew that it was in the palm of my hand, and I just let it go.
Yeah.
And so for me at the end, when I saw it starting to turn, I had the whole thing on videotape, like just the room atmosphere. I put my 360 camera up, and we watched the whole room, and my face changed from like man to oh my fuck, like
Still a chance.
no way.
Still a chance.
Yeah, when they started turning, I'm like, no way. And I put there's 100 on the video. If and when I put it out, there's $100 bill on the corner of the counter, and that $100 bill is because I bet anyone in the room that I was gonna lose, that Fumi was gonna take it.
Wow.
Well, I guess you win either way.
Yeah, right.
Lazy, I gotta be honest with you. After that first round of the finals, because of that routine that didn't go so well, I thought it was Fumi's to lose in that moment. And then he, obviously he didn't evolve, and you did a great job in your second round. So I thought it was in Fumi's hands. And hearing you saying like, yeah, I kind of thought I wasn't gonna win because of that routine.
I knew it. It wasn't that I thought it. I knew it. But what I didn't know was that they, A-Track, Praise, and Bauer, well, A-Track really, were looking for the future. They were looking for
to be wow.
The wow factor. Yeah.
And
I already knew in the first place, but I just forgot about it in the moment.
You know, it's funny that you say all that because we kind of went over in the last episode a little bit, but I really felt that Fumi had the advantage in the finals because of the shortened sets. It seems like on the video side, because again, for those that haven't seen it, right? Like there's an audio and a video side to this, the way you presented your set, that, not only do you have to like sneak in a bunch of stuff into a video, a visual, but also it's hard to, like you said, like it's like you're telling a story, but now your story time is only 2 minutes, and you got to run through it.
It's a short film,
and it's a short film. It's a trailer.
EP.
So, but and then again, Fumi, he's just got like these crazy patterns, so they can't go forever. So it's like literally set up for him to have that opportunity, and yet still you came up on top, with just evolving what I think is the way a DJ battle will ever be looked at again. Like this is just a different
innovating, man.
Yeah.
Blows my mind, dude. I read this article today in some blog talking about how just like it was just shifting things. And it's mind-blowing to me because that's not what I meant to do. I expected everyone to be doing that because that's what we do on Twitch.
Yeah.
Right.
You look at Four Colors Act, you look at Bert Peterson, you look at Treasure Fingers, you look at a bunch of other folks, they're already doing this stuff.
Yeah.
But the simple only difference that I didn't even realize is that I'm doing it on the battle platform.
Right.
Was there I'm sorry, was there a strategy to how you arranged your sets? Like, did you think the lesser of the set was specifically placed in that first round of the qualifying?
For sure.
Okay. Yeah, because we all agreed had Fumi rearranged his sets, he would have had a chance. You still think you would have got him if he
had a chance. He had just as much of a chance as I did. He had the same 5 minutes, the same 2 minutes, and the same 2 minutes again. He had the chance.
Yeah.
Where he dropped the ball, and he didn't recognize that everyone was flipping out, that I was using a different approach.
Right.
And it's not like he doesn't have people in his corner.
Lazyboy, you cut out for a second. Say again after you said where he dropped the ball.
Where he dropped the ball, in my opinion, was that he didn't recognize that what the judges were responding to. They responded to me bringing this other element in.
Yeah.
And he had all the opportunity to do so. And he has people in his corner. He's got Yuto, and he's in Japan, so I would just make the assumption that he's got Iku. Iku does video stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, it comes down to, I don't know where his ego is, but I know that if it was me and I had those people in my country, I'd be like, hey, yo, Iku, I really love what you're doing with the After Effects. I need a little bit of video edge on Lazyboy. Can you either help me with editing or show me how to do this on my own?
Yeah.
I only have a week left. So it really comes down to recognizing, as I said online that week too, I just commented on someone's post, like the way that I prepare for battles is just, I understand certain things. And the number one thing to understand in the battle is who are your judges and what are they looking for? What are the rules and who are your competitors? And what are my strengths?
Yeah.
Right.
And never be afraid to show your stuff to someone whose opinion you value.
Yeah.
Whose response and constructive criticism is not held back by their concern whether they're going to hurt your feelings or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like these are very important things you consider when you're entering a competition that you really want to win.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
if he would have known that, if he would have just added simple gifts to his set, that related to what was said, then it would have been almost an equal playing ground.
But what if Fumi knew there wasn't a trophy?
He would have, I don't know. He wouldn't have had no problem winning, so I would have backed my ass out of that.
I think the competitors would have all protested that there is no trophy.
My manager's writing up a response to the email that I read to you guys in hopes that they will throw down 100 or 200, whatever it costs to make a trophy.
Yeah, they'll
for
do
not
that.
just me, but for the guy that won the beat battle.
Yeah.
You saying don't do that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you saying don't do that? Or?
Say what?
I'm sorry. Were you saying to not do that? Or?
No. I was saying,
no.
you should do that. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
And your manager could throw in there that this episode's going to air in a couple of days, and they have a couple of days to make it right.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. You said. with all that being said, DMC's next.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is next, but
Triple
I have a
Crown.
lot of practicing. I have a lot of practicing to do. I stopped juggling a long time ago. DMC is actually the second battle I ever entered on my 30th birthday in San Francisco, and I made it to the finals of that regional. And I only went in there with a 2-minute routine because I wasn't expecting to advance. and I told him that. He got on the mic, I had my birthday hat on, I was in a suit. I'm like, yo, I wasn't expecting to make it to the finals. I'm just gonna play music. It's my birthday. Peace, y'all. And that was it. Yeah, but you know what? I just want all 3 trophies up on the wall.
Yeah.
That's it. And however much work it takes, however many years it takes me to get a jacket, a U.S. title for DMC, I'm gonna put in the effort. I might not do it every year, but I want to. It's something I want. It's a goal of mine. So yeah, DMC next.
Dope.
You know, I gotta say, you know, for what it's worth, there's, I think in the DJ world, at least for myself, you know, I think a lot of people think of AM as one of those like early influences on how the mix styles came, and then years ago, probably when we were just the MikiDZ show, not the pod, I think we told Four Color Zach that he was kind of that fresh ear when it came to just a different sound, right? With like introducing or at least taking tone play to that next level. And I got to give you your flowers, man. Like you took it to a visual level that hasn't been presented, at least in the battle side of things. And so big credit to you. Like, I think that's something that as DJs can really look at and say like, this is something different.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Trophy or no trophy, man, congratulations. You bodied that shit, man. Yeah. For real.
Thank you. But I'm not going to take any credit for that because, dude, I'm just doing what we are all doing, man.
Right.
We're all doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some of us that are doing it better than others. Like, I look at, well, after I did my first set, I talked to Craze, and he's like, man, like, so were you influenced by my video set that I did? I'm like, what video set? And he's like, huh? And then he sent me a link to it, and I'm like, oh, snap, I had no idea. But what I did get influenced by was Four Color Zach's first set he ever did when he came to Twitch, some 420 set.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, snap, that is the real game changer. No, I honestly, there's no way I can take credit for it. And I hear everyone saying, well, you did it in the battle scene. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's like, I thought everyone should have bring it to the battle scene. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not my fault they weren't thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Even in As One, no disrespect As One, but even in your interview video that you did, right, what's right behind you? Your big ass green screen. And in my eyes, I was like, yeah, he's definitely going to be doing something on there. And everyone, I thought was going to bring it, but I'm just not going to take credit for that because, you know, shout out to Four Color Zach, shout out to Bird Peterson, shout out to Treasure Fingers. Those are the people that inspired me to do something more than just set a border on my Twitch.
Mm.
I made that Rick and Morty whole scene all by myself probably over 6 months ago. And I had no idea what I was going to do with it.
Wow.
It's been sitting in my pocket. And then when this popped up, I'm like, all right. And then I honestly, hey, check this out. I was 3 days before the first set, I was going to back out because I had nothing. I had this nervous system issue where I went to Hawaii for New Year's and Christmas, and when I was out there, I had this weird pain in my armpit, and by the time I got back home, it spread to my chest, all the way down my arm, and around my back, and I was freaking out because I had cancer a year and a half ago, and it spread, and they cut it out of my tongue, but it spread, and all they could say is, hey, let's just wait and see where it pops up next. And so this entire time I've been like freaked out, and every time something happens, I freak out. And this is just one more time where I freak out, and I went to the hospital. And they said they didn't know what it was. And I got an MRI. I went to a neurologist, and I got another MRI, and they said they found a spot in my spine that had like this weird lesion in it, and they said that's either from radiation or it's a tumor. So we're going to have someone else look at it, oncology look at it. So this happened right at the same time, right at the beginning when HR came me up. And so I'm like, I don't give a shit about being in front of my turntables. I don't care about no Goldie Awards. I need to be outside with people that I love and living life and feel the sun on my skin. And I don't want to be stuck in a room with my turntables.
Right.
Yeah.
And being frustrated by my mind not being able to create something because I'm still not passionate about it because I told you I already proved myself to the world when I did freestyle. And so all the way up until the 3 days, I didn't have nothing. So I'm sitting over here shroomed out of my mind with my girl in the bathtub. And I told her, I'm like, yo, hey, I need to back out. I can't do this. My heart's not in it. She's like, all right, back out. I'm with you. I got your back. I'm like, well, hold on. I can't just do it like that.
Hey, why are you agreeing with me so quick?
Yeah, right? I'm like, I got to tell them something, so what do I tell them? So that's when we're sitting there in the bathroom, both butt naked. She's on the floor. I'm sitting on the counter. And we're like, all right, hey, I'm going to call him up. I'm going to tell him, hey, Mr. Boy, or Mr. Track. And then we started dying laughing. And that's when I'm like, wait a second. This sounds like an intro to the mix, right?
Right.
So then we just started laughing. We came in here and we got dressed first. We sat on Born Color TV and we're like, yo, this is the idea. And then we just started all going back and forth. And this is where I love it. I'm an ENTP and I'm really good at brainstorming. I'm not good at planning the rest of it out. When we're brainstorming, wrote, the book is around here somewhere. I don't know. Oh, it's right here. This book right here, it's got page after page of just ideas that we came up with that we thought would be great to work for the set. And
can you just tell us one idea that you didn't put to life?
Oh my shit, dude, bro. We're coming out with a director's cut.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah, and there is a scene and an ending. So the ending that you guys saw was actually the transition from the scene that is going to be in the director's cut.
Right.
So basically, it leaves off for the person needs consciousness or whatever,
right.
And then the string goes like this.
Yeah.
And actually, what I want to say, if you go back to that set, I don't know who caught it, who didn't, but Jay-Z's rapping this pattern. And then I flip it to Nas, and Nas is rapping a very, very similar pattern.
Right.
And that's how those two combined. It wasn't wordplay, it was rhyme pattern play, whichever one who uses that.
Right.
So kudos to myself.
Cadence play.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even beyond that, if you go deeper, it's Jay-Z and it's Nas. I mean, they had that whole beef, so it's like very ironic that those two had the same patterns. And then, so he says lose consciousness.
You could do a whole like Genius breakdown, right? Like it's like breaking down the lyric, break down the set.
Like 69 Beats did on his freestyle set.
Yeah. Exactly.
He did that. And I love 69 Beats. I was really happy because when I saw the dynamics, I'm like, who else is here? And he's like, I bet you 69 Beats in it. I was like, we're fucked. That dude's gonna win. So all I gotta say is there is a Baywatch scene. So the concept was the dude sitting here, man, I'm flipping through channels. And part of it was like, it evolved into watching the competition. But their main idea was flipping through channels. Like he's thinking to myself, wasting time, procrastinating, wasting as much time as you can because that's what I was doing the entire time. I really need to back out. This lineup's crazy. And flipping through channels and whatever's on. And my idea was to be an infomercial. And I had a Brady Bunch idea where I was all the Brady Bunch. And I did the whole drum scratch stuff with like 9 of me.
Oh, shit.
That was one idea.
That was crazy.
Yeah, and we even had the neighbor downstairs is a producer, and he made a B-roll remix with the instrumental of Brady Bunch, and I was gonna have Ease's girlfriend's kids sing the Brady Bunch, but say, here's a story of a boy named Lazy, and then go into the sick.
Oh, yeah.
But that,
We'll be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, Goldie Awards 2022.
Let's go.
Yeah, right. So there's a Baywatch scene, which you guys are definitely gonna see at some point. And then after that, when I come out of that, it's when I'm like with the jergens, and I'm like, if you look closely, I'm drooling on myself. I'm pouring a glass of water in my mouth. I'm drooling. I'm like, whoa, what the hell was that? That was fucked up, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then it goes to Rick and Morty in the director's cut. And then after that, it goes to another scene where I have an empty bag, like a turkey bag. You guys know what a turkey bag is?
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys, you pot smokers, you.
Guilty.
Yeah. So I have a turkey bag, and there's one of these in my hand, and I'm like, what the? Nice. Eat the entire bag. Is any of this real? And then it goes to another little part, which I'm not going to say because it ties back in. And it's just a very fun ending, and I'm the worst actor, by the way. I'm not going to say that my acting...
And you had us rolling.
Oh, yeah, but my acting is trash, but...
You should do segments of this shit. Just post them up.
Yeah, this is
I'm
great.
trying... Actually, I have promo for that.
See?
So here's one thing. For my second round, what I was originally going to do was I was going to... I've been watching it in the same spot that I'm sitting in, and then going to the watching it and hearing that, oh, they're gonna dance me tight. I'm gonna dance, but then at the same time, I was gonna look at all the hater comments that were on there, because there was probably about 10 really rude hater remarks on there. And I ended up addressing them on one of the Goldie's posts, and I tagged everyone that had written them in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so behind the scenes, they had apologized for it and also confronted me and said, hey, this is why I'm upset with you. One guy was upset because he was rapping at some event that was made for scratching. And I'm going to be honest here, they weren't that good at rapping. But not only that, they were like playing these beats that we couldn't scratch to, and they're rapping over a scratching. So I grabbed the mic from him and like unplugged it or something and hit it from, I don't know. I stopped him from laughing, which is a very asshole mood. He had all the right to be mad at me, and I apologize for it. The other person, we were at the DJcity meetup in Denver.
Yeah.
And afterwards, it was DMC in Denver. And afterwards, I went to some party, and I think I was had a few too many of these, and I said something to someone's wife that was pretty rude, which doesn't sound too off, but I apologize for that as well, and we figured it out. So I had squashed all that stuff, so I ended up not really feeling the need to talk about it in my set, but I kind of like what I did by using the Eminem part from my band. I don't know why everyone hates so much, and I'm jealous, this and that. That's why I use that sample. Yeah, so in that set, what was my point? I was talking about how I started that set. I don't know.
Well, we'll keep a lookout for the director's cut.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
And any final thoughts, questions?
No, man. I think that was it, man. We appreciate you, Lazyboy, for real.
Yes, we appreciate you for taking the time. Appreciate your patience for us figuring this out, right? And then any last words?
I appreciate you guys a lot for your help in the past, your willingness to help in the past, and for offering this platform for me to share my angle on things, and definitely pass things up to the DJ community about why my second set was so You know what I'm saying? I'm with you. It was very but the concept was great. And it was really funny that I got a chance to realize my neighbor, St. John, who does radio syndication all over the United States, maybe even the world. He said, "The game changer." Yeah, I realized his voice on that. And I really appreciate all the support you guys have given me and all my fans out there. Thank you, all the haters out there. A big one of these, 2 of those. And if you really have a problem with it, why don't you guys come out and be good enough to have A-Track ask you to be on this stuff, or work your ass up to DMC, or work your ass up to a freestyle.
Exactly.
Why don't you come out, put your dick on the table, and let's see who's bigger.
Come see me.
Facts.
Exactly. That's how I like
On
this
that
guy.
note, thank you, DJ Lazyboy,
Appreciate
MikiDZ
you, brother.
podcast.
Thank you.
We
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you. Get
Come
the
get the
merch.
merch.
Get the merch.
I got a friend who has cancer right now. I'm trying to raise money. If you can, please donate at my Venmo, DJ Lazyboy. I'm gonna hand it over. It's my girl's second mom. Like, she had a family outside of her family, and this person always had her back, and now she has had 2 cancers, 1 hysterectomy, and 1 breast cancer situation. It's not looking good, and I want her to be able to have some time to spend with her daughter, who's the only breadwinner of the household. And it's not fair that she has to work and not be spending time with her mom. And so please help them out and donate. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to humankind. And give them a hug, because life isn't forever.
What's the Venmo real quick?
DJ Lazyboy.
Easy.
Perfect.
Simple as that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Donate.
We appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
All right,
See
ladies.
ya.
All right,
All right,
ladies.
peace. All right, bro.
Later.
Late.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Man, Lazy
All right,
Boy.
all right. So, any thoughts after that? I like
Man,
how
what a
open he
story.
was.
I love this guy.
Yeah, I love that he was just like, hell no, I didn't think that shit would work.
Yeah, exactly, right?
And that's crazy to think. Like, he tried, and it's just like, well, we'll see what happens, and just rolled with it. Rolled with what he had.
Yeah, and he didn't want it because he didn't want to have his editor sit there for another 4 or 5 hours trying to get it
Understandably
right.
so.
You know what I mean? And they've already put so much work, and he said he turned it in late. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, even with that little quote-unquote mistake, the set was still
worked.
fucking amazing.
Yep.
And I gotta say, man, big ups to him, man. Not every DJ is willing to be that transparent and honest.
Oh,
whether
100.
it comes from the no hardware included
Yeah.
part of the battle, or just his, being honest of his struggles behind the scenes. And so, huge credit to Lazyboy, and crediting those that inspired him is big. So. Big ups to him.
Yeah.
I don't know how much
Congratulations,
more we
Lazy.
could
Yeah.
add on to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
How we feeling?
What we got next?
Shoot. Texas is open.
Texas is fucking open.
How we feeling about that?
100%.
Keeping our asses in
Well,
LA?
hold on. First of all, Texas was open when I visited in December. So let's get that straight.
Wait.
100%.
Well, it's 100%.
But now it's 100%.
No
Everything is open and no mask required.
But
this
I heard some businesses are still required.
Yeah, so
because some of them
businesses
are not
allowed it.
fucking
Yeah,
insane.
yeah. Basically, it's like no shoes, no shirt, no service. So no mask, no service. Basically the same thing.
Fair.
So it's Texas and Mississippi
Yeah.
that are, from what I heard, are the two city
Where
states or
is
whatever.
Mississippi?
Who fucking knows, bro? No disrespect to
No
anybody
disrespect to
from
any
Mississippi,
listener
but
from Mississippi.
It's down there somewhere.
I mean,
We're living loose
Texas
off
wide
all of
open.
you.
I don't know, man. They've been getting a lot of backlash from it. From what I've been seeing, they've been getting a lot of backlash. They've been saying the governor is risking people's lives.
Well,
But
that's his Neanderthal behavior,
but,
bro.
well, at this point, it's you go in your own discretion. You know what I mean? Like you walk out to the world in your own risk. Basically, is what it is. Like if you still have the COVID scaries, stay your ass home.
COVID scary.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Sounds like a disease.
you know what I'm saying? But I say it with all due respect. If you have pre-existing conditions, excuse me, just stay your ass home. You know what I mean? Follow suit and what would make sense to you. But for the people who are probably tired of not working, not being able to run their business completely, like I'm sure they're ecstatic right now and
sure.
they're out there celebrating. So cheers to Texas, cheers to Mississippi, and to those guys. Let's see if some of the other cities and states will follow suit.
Sooner or later.
I mean, I get that, but I think they're probably going to be like, let them be the guinea pigs, and we'll see how it goes for them,
right?
And then we'll see what we can do.
Well, Texas is so spread out compared to like in California or New York.
Yeah.
So and in Miami as well. So they'll be fine. You get enough people to take vaccines. It'll be fine. I mean, I understand why people don't like it opening soon, but they'll be fine.
I mean, whatever. They're a red state. They can figure it out.
Yeah.
For now they
They'll
are.
be all right.
We'll see.
For now they are.
But congrats to all the businesses.
Yeah.
They
absolutely.
Money coming in.
They get to fight another day, and let people into their businesses and eat indoors.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, honestly, too, like
that's crucial, man.
With all that snow, it's not like
With
they can have people eat outside.
That's what I'm saying. They getting cold weather. I'm like, man, listen.
They needed to open up.
Right.
Texas.
They needed good news.
Yeah.
Texas needed.
I agree with that.
They needed a W for sure.
That helps the psyche for sure.
Absolutely.
So moving on, one thing we were going to talk about this week, we're going to push to next week, is NFTs and especially NFTs.
What is an NFT?
It's a non-fungible token. And Mickey, you want to explain this
to the
real
people
quick
who don't understand?
It's all over the internet. Like we won't get too deep into it.
I'll look into NBA Top Shot. For me, that was I wouldn't say the first introduction to it, but essentially being able to own part of something. In this case, with the NBA Top Shot, which to me just seems like the easiest way to explain it is they're selling the opportunity to own a highlight of an NBA player, and they're numbered. And the reason why I like their format more than some of the others, which probably has to do more with just the lack of research that I've done, but with them, they have their own marketplace. So you can only buy from somebody who's purchased from the company, and you can only sell if you've purchased it from the company. It's not like you pulled a GIF off of Twitter and said, I'll take $100 for this NFT, but it's not secured or, registered. So that's part of it. And I mean, look, I have friends who are making money from this stuff, and we're starting to see some DJs or producers getting into this space and having some real success.
Yeah. What's the Kings of Leon just sold the first NFT album, or they're about to, or release their album as an NFT.
Right.
So
Bauer released X amount of a album that did multi-platinum.
How does that work for the albums? So does it mean samples get cleared easier, or I don't think I get the aspect of the music.
I think on the music side, we'll have to figure it out. Yeah. I think that the easiest example that we've seen is like a beat pack. You'll be given the licenses to use royalty-free the samples that you're purchasing.
Yeah.
That's part of the package. But really, what you're selling is the ownership of something, and then typically there's only so many you can purchase.
Yep.
Okay.
So
I mean, look back to that Wu-Tang album that never dropped.
Yeah.
And homie that ran up the pharmaceuticals bought it.
Skrelly.
And he never sold it or put it out.
He's locked up.
But he owns the rights to that album and whatever he wants to do to it. So it really is just another supply and demand. And considering where we are as a nation, I would assume that it's just a bunch of rich crypto people, because a lot of this has to do with the same simplistic idea of a crypto blockchain marketplace.
Okay.
And that's the thing about it, is the blockchain. So if I buy Kings of Leon album, and then let's say I paid $10,000 for it, and if I sell it to you for 12, that's all that is documented and updated within the blockchain, and no one can tamper with it.
So it's like a used car Carfax. Like you can tell who is the previous owners and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
in a
see-
sense.
yeah. And you can see who bid on it.
Got you.
Yeah.
You can see the bid. You can't see who bid.
Sure,
unless
that's
it's
what I mean.
set up
The bids.
Okay.
in
Got
a
you.
way. So it's essentially kind of its own creating a stock market. It's a marketplace.
Got you.
For the ability to purchase certain things, and based on how they're numbered, right? Like some people are selling an album, right? And they're selling 100,000 of that album. But then there's another version of the album that has 2 extra songs. That version is only 100, let's say 10,000 of those albums.
Mm.
And then there's a version of the album that's never going to see the light of day, and there's only 10 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And so somebody can own that and hold on to it, or be the highest bidder and then sell it. But what this all comes down to, and we're trying not to get too deep into it, but what it really boils down to is if there's somebody willing to pay for it,
You gonna sell
Yeah.
it?
you're in onto something. So
Yeah.
that's really the beauty and the danger of that kind of a situation, because let's just say, I don't know, everybody decides that basketball cards are just cardboard again.
Yeah.
And the market falls because you discover that there's really
No value to them.
a million Zion rookie cards
Mm.
when you thought there was only 100,000.
Mm.
Right. So like,
Okay.
for example, so I mean, Techniques could come out tomorrow and sell an NFT of a turntable that nobody else has seen.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy for the DJ industry.
And also within the NFTs, and I'll shut up after this, is the blockchain for musicians. You can cut out the middleman, because essentially we're told what we're owed, how much we made, but we don't really know. We don't know the facts on that. So you can cut all that out and have the money go directly to you. And imagine if you're a producer and you go and DJ at, I don't know, Tao, and Tao has to pay music rights to have music played in their club. You can submit, these are the songs that were played to BMI or whoever, and you will get direct payment for playing those songs. So there's a lot more to it with music, and I think it'll connect with some of you, or I guess some of you, for sure you producers who are up and coming, but with DJs as well, then you may want to tap into this kind of market.
Yeah.
If you want to stay involved with music and evolve from DJing.
Gotta always think about the future.
Always. And so do we care to talk about IG? They turned their likes off. Looks like it was an accident.
They turned that shit back on.
I know, it looked like their things are
Just
about to
kidding.
change.
Just kidding.
People were like,
Just
yeah,
kidding.
they turned the lights off.
Somebody turned the switch off in the room. Like,
IG
oh, my bad.
doing
Turn
such
it
a
back
great
on.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Niggas.
We're about to become the #1 podcast.
Right?
Real quick.
Let's talk about these other points about IG next week.
Got
About
you.
the whole other thing.
Okay. All right.
And our next in globalization, we just had Sammy Needles
Year.
Yo.
dropping all Biggie set. Shout out to him. And shout out to Phenom, because on that station on globalization, Phenom has to have.
Well, technically, when this airs,
Actually, no.
yeah.
Sammy
Sammy
Needles will be
the day after we air it. This airs on Monday. Sammy Neal's mix will be on Tuesday.
correct.
Yeah, so he's coming up.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, so then we just had Kid Cut Up.
Correct.
All right. Yeah. So shout out to Kid Cut Up. I said this before. I'll say it again. One of the most creative mixes we've had.
Man, I looked at that playlist. I was like, Jesus Christ, he
there's
did
a
all
lot
that in 30 minutes?
Yeah, no, it was a lot. There was like 3 and 4 tracks played at once at some points. But I will finish up by saying, talk about Sammy Needles. It's an all Biggie set, so be on the lookout for that. And again, shout out to Phenom, because we're on globalization. They're supposed to play certain songs, I don't know, X amount of times. And I hit up Phenom to make sure we were good with this unique set, because I don't think any of Biggie's songs are on the globalization's
None.
playlist.
Zero whatsoever.
So shout out to Phenom for allowing this to happen. And yeah, that's it. Right?
Yeah. Shout out to Lazyboy, man.
Once again, shout out to Lazyboy.
No, we appreciate Lazyboy. That
Yeah.
was great. We appreciate you. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Next week.
Peace.
Peace.
See y'all. Peace.